Drone cameras can effortlessly capture sights that our naked eyes or even standard cameras often fail to perceive. In this modern era of smartphones and the internet, the drone camera stands out as one of the most cutting-edge technological inventions. Essentially, a drone is a flying camera utilized to capture video footage of remote and inaccessible locations. However, while soaring through the skies, these cameras occasionally capture mysterious and bizarre phenomena that are truly astonishing. From ancient burial grounds atop mountains to strange objects discovered in open fields, in today's video, we are going to showcase some of this mysterious footage which we have been able to witness thanks to the capabilities of drones. For one individual, scaling a treacherous mountain was supposed to be an exhilarating experience. However, due to a single minor misstep, his adventure quickly spiraled into a nightmare. While climbing the mountain with his friends, he became stranded on a perilous cliff face. He found himself trapped in a spot so precarious that he could not even sit down properly. This man, named Babu, hailing from Kerala, had planned an adventure with his friends to ascend the Charadu Hills via a difficult and rugged path. However, midway through the climb, his foot slipped and he became wedged inside a small crevice. His friends attempted to rescue him using ropes, wooden planks, and various other means, but their efforts proved futile. The mountain is situated in an extremely remote and isolated area. Consequently, his friends had to summon local villagers to assist in the rescue. Subsequently, official authorities arrived at the scene. They began capturing footage of Babu using a drone camera. The drone footage revealed Babu perched precariously on a tiny ledge, appearing as a mere speck, suspended right in the middle of the towering mountain face. The rescue team launched numerous attempts to extract him, yet none met with success. He remained stranded on that tiny ledge, exposed and vulnerable, without any food or water. Even a helicopter was deployed in an attempt to rescue him, but that effort too ended in failure. Hungry, exposed to the scorching sun by day, and buffeted by stormy winds at night, and living in constant fear of wild animals, he was forced to endure an agonizing ordeal. Meanwhile, the police, the flying squad, and the Coast Guard worked tirelessly day and night in a relentless effort to save his life. Ultimately, acting on the chief minister's orders, the Indian Army was dispatched to the scene to rescue him. After an operation lasting several hours, an army officer managed to reach his location with the aid of a rope. As he was suffering from hunger, he was first provided with food and water. Drone footage captured by the Indian Army shows the rescue team safely lowering Babu to the ground using a rope. After approximately 71 hours, Babu was finally brought down. This incident bears a striking resemblance to the ordeal of Danny Boyle's subject, who was trapped in the mountains for 102 hours. In 2018, a Brazilian research team deployed a drone to capture footage of the vegetation, rivers, and isolated tribes inhabiting the Amazon rainforest. Their drone captured images of two indigenous tribesmen moving about near a river. Another clip revealed a tribesman living in complete isolation from the modern world, busily engaged in cutting wood. Yet another drone video showed a cluster of huts belonging to an isolated tribe. Hearing the buzzing sound of the drone, the inhabitants emerged from their huts. It appeared that they were frightened by the sight of the drone. Consequently, the group stood ready to launch an attack, armed with bows and arrows. While this flying device may seem like a source of entertainment to us, from their perspective, it likely appeared to be an alien entity from another world, or perhaps an ominous supernatural force, for they have yet to come into contact with modern civilization. To them, modern technology represents a terrifying threat. Fortunately for the drone, it survived their barrage of arrows and successfully returned to the researchers. Otherwise, you would not have had the privilege of viewing this footage today. In February 2018, a road accident occurred at 1 a.m. in the Grimsby region of the United States. A single vehicle had overturned and come to rest on the roadside. The police were placed on high alert regarding this incident as the driver of the vehicle was missing. Several witnesses claimed to have seen an injured individual staggering along the sidewalk. However, they were unable to state with any certainty in which direction the person had subsequently headed. At this juncture, the police faced two significant obstacles. First, it was the dead of night, and the area surrounding the accident site was shrouded in pitch-black darkness. Moreover, the nights during that period were bitterly cold. Suddenly, an officer of the Tempanam unit came up with a brilliant idea. He began flying a drone. It was through the drone's thermal imaging camera that they were able to identify the victim. By zooming in on the footage, they could clearly discern the outline of a person lying in an awkward position. The individual was located approximately 160 meters away from the site of the car accident, lying within a 6-foot deep ditch. While the drone pilot shared the local location data, the police team advanced toward the individual. The poor victim, suffering from the cold, was on the verge of hypothermia and lay unconscious in the initial stages of exposure. The police immediately rushed the near-lifeless victim to the hospital by ambulance. Thanks to drone technology, the police were able to locate the individual within a matter of minutes and successfully save his life. Without the drone, it likely would have taken the police until morning to find him, by which time they would have discovered only his lifeless body. When a loved one suddenly goes missing, our days and nights are consumed by thoughts of them every single moment. However, thanks to drone technology, this particular story has a happy ending. On the evening of June 8, 2021, Roy Giblin went out for a stroll in the fields. As night fell, however, Giblin did not return home. His entire family grew deeply concerned. Although Giblin typically took an evening walk by the fields and would be back in an hour or two, that night, 11 p.m. came and went without any sign of him. His 30-year-old granddaughter, Laura, filed a missing person report, and the police immediately began searching the entire area. They even reviewed footage from every CCTV camera in the vicinity in hopes of finding a clue to Giblin's whereabouts, but their efforts to locate him proved futile. With all other attempts exhausted, they finally deployed a drone to assist in the search. Suddenly, the pilot noticed something unusual lying amidst the tall grass beside the train tracks. Upon approaching the scene, the rescue team discovered Roy Giblin lying there, unconscious. It turned out that Roy had fallen ill during his evening walk and had subsequently lost his way. After a search operation spanning nearly 36 hours, Roy was finally reunited with his family. This small device accomplished a feat that even a massive helicopter had failed to achieve. According to his family, had it not been for the assistance of the drone, Roy Giblin might well have perished, lying undiscovered within the tall grass. In Colorado, a fire suddenly broke out in a farmer's crop field. When the farmer, named Eric Howard, saw the blaze, he was left stunned. 35 acres of his land had already been reduced to ash by the flames. Given the speed and intensity with which the wildfire was spreading, it seemed unlikely that even a single grain of his harvest could be saved. Instead of waiting to call the firefighters, he quickly grabbed his truck and set out to create a fire break, a long, cleared strip of land in an attempt to prevent the fire from spreading. In reality, this is a type of firefighting technique known as creating a fire line. This method involves clearing away the topsoil to remove the combustible material that fuels the fire. Although he was ultimately unable to fully subdue the blaze through this effort, he did manage to save a portion of the crops. Eric knew that this undertaking posed a risk to his life. Nevertheless, without a second thought, he drove his truck out to create a fire break. This act of bravery was captured on camera by a drone. While operating a drone in the Canary Islands of Spain, a team of archaeologists stumbled upon a remarkable discovery. When the drone was maneuvered into a cave situated 93 feet above ground level, they spotted human skeletal remains. Upon entering the cave themselves, the archaeological team discovered the remains of 72 individuals, including 32 adult males and 10 newborn infants. Subsequent research on these skeletons revealed that approximately 3,000 years ago, the Guanche civilization had established settlements in the vicinity of this cave. According to historians, it is likely that they originally migrated from North Africa to settle in the Canary Islands. Archaeologist Veronica Alberto notes that while there are many such burial caves scattered across the island, not all of them contain newborn infants. Furthermore, the team recovered mummified remains from each of these caves, which had been preserved using abundance of animal hids and plant matter, a mummification technique that in ancient times was practiced exclusively by the indigenous tribes of the Canary Islands. The drone footage in question gives the distinct impression of a powerful figure leaping onto the vegetation or attempting to tear down the trees.